all about the Archers. I'm Philippa.
I'm Daisy.
And I'm Quentin at the Crawley services off the M6 on my way back to Cornwall. Couldn't make it up, could you?
We are here for an emergency episode. By demand of the Facebook group. We are here and we are covering, as a one-off, the rest of the week. So we are covering episodes from Wednesday the 4th, Thursday the 5th and Friday the 6th of September. You have been warned, there will be spoilers. Quentin, I'm coming to you first. What did you think?
The last 2 days, well, it's been absolutely riveting. I mean, I've been glued to Ian's new school chat group. I mean, I can't get enough. I just wish there'd been a bit of drama the last 2 days, but it's been absolutely, very, as I said, riveting. Apart from that, what a relief! Susan, thank you so much. Got it going. She played a blinder yesterday. Assisted not as forcibly as I'd expected, really, from good solid Neil. He was a bit sort of, shall we go in, shall we not? I thought, come on, Neil, I'm relying on you. But Susan was fantastic. And now, of course, all hell has been let loose, and it could go in so many directions, couldn't it? I mean, it's a field day for the script editors and writers, and which way do they go? I mean, for me, the crucial reactions, we've had one of them tonight, was Ed. I thought I couldn't wait to hear what Ed had to say about it, but can't wait to hear what Harrison has got to say about this.
Yes,
more of that
he's
later.
Going to be fuming that he didn't spot it.
I've got a prediction about that, actually. And, of course, Alice, how's she going to respond as well? But I mean, so many potential reactions are going to be fascinating. What about you two?
Katie? Yeah, Katie, what did you think?
I think the thing is, it's been amazing. I mean, the way it goes from panic to anger to sadness. I mean, it's just been one roller coaster and a half, that's for sure. But I just hadn't realised how much it was going to affect the family. I don't know why, but I just hadn't kind of registered the whole Mia thing where she said, "Oh, well, I'm not going to go to uni because I need to be there." And then they were talking about Poppy and Kira. I hadn't even thought about them. What on earth are they going to think, and how do they tell them and everything? There's so much more. I'd only really been thinking about Ed, Emma and Will and possibly Susan and Neil, but there's so many other people this affects. And
I mean, wow, it was such a relief, wasn't it, when Mia said that she is going to university? I mean, I'm being facetious here. I thought she's going to have to stay back and we have more lectures from Mia. Sorry.
More falafel.
So thanks, George, for encouraging her to go.
It's the only good thing I think he did, encouraging her. But
actually, I mean, he was very gracious about that, wasn't he? He says, I don't want to muck up your life as well. Yeah.
I've got to say, incredible work, everyone involved in the Archers, from the script writers to the whole team, and the acting has been extraordinary. If I had to pick one in particular, Emerald, who plays Emma, I mean, wow. Everybody has just been incredible. And what I hadn't realised, but it really struck me tonight, is that Emma really has lost her mind over this. Yeah. She's been so consumed. It's not that she's just not quite thinking clearly. She's just lost it. And blaming Neil and Susan.
I know.
No, don't.
But the way she flipped so quickly when Ed came and said, no, it's not their fault. It's completely George's. So she's flitting, isn't she, from one emotion to another. And she knows fundamentally it's down to George. And I feel very angry for her, really, because she's just getting her life together. She's got a GCSE, isn't she? And she's getting a business together. And this has landed on her lap just when things were picking up. So I think she was very wrong not to tell Ed sooner. And I think that's going to really blow up in their faces. I think it's going to very adversely affect their relationship.
And to hear him actually hear the news live.
Yeah.
It
was awful, but I was grateful. Yeah.
It was interesting though yesterday, the way you were kind of, as soon as you realised it was all going to come out and everything, and you were kind of you were feeling great that Susan and Neil and Emma had managed to do this. Emma had called the police and everything, but then the panic in George's voice when he was kind of like, "Mom, they're going to take me, Mom," and that you just instantly felt awful for him as well, because you were kind of you were pleased that he was finally getting pulled up, but at the same time you were kind of thinking, oh, that's awful, and how must Emma be feeling at that point?
Well, he's a kid, isn't he? He's a kid. I mean, he's got all this bravado,
Yeah.
actually, to scratch away, and he's a frightened 19-year-old, isn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's been really real. Sometimes, you sit and listen to the Arch and say, oh, God. Yeah. But, yeah, we all know it's real, obviously. But this really felt real, didn't it? It really was real. This is visceral. And this could tear I think it is going to tear the family apart, actually. I'd be interested to know what charges he faces, because potentially he faces some very serious charges.
And the irony is, if he just told the truth at the time, he would have been in trouble, but nothing really. I think there are ways round it.
Was it on Thursday somebody pointed out, why didn't he just say that he was driving, but she was trying to get out of the car. He was trying to stop her getting out of the car.
Why didn't he just stop the car?
Yeah.
Well, why did he just say that? That's what happened. I was driving her back, not insured to drive this vehicle, but she was trying to get out of the car, so I was trying to stop her, and that's when the crash happened. And that actually, it's the truth, and he would have, there'd been a lot of mitigation there. But I think was it Susan who pointed that out, saying exasperated. Why didn't he say that? I thought Susan Charlotte, who plays her, was brilliant. Has been brilliant the last 2 nights, actually, particularly yesterday.
Yes. When she was talking about when she was in prison and how Emma refused to come and see her, and Emma's reaction, such emotions. But George was awful today. I thought, I don't want anything to do with you, to Emma.
Yes.
And Will goes off with him. And Will says, have you had enough sleep, to him? Oh, my goodness, Will, stop pandering to a child.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
He's going to be furious with Emma. Again, I, like you, Kitty, I hadn't fully thought through everything. Yes, I'd assumed Ed would be apoplectic, but actually both of them were furious and walked away, and Emma was left on her own.
Yeah.
I feel like it's also going to fuel the fire for George not liking women as well, because it's his mum that did this. It's the whole still not being pleasant to women. I think that's going to fuel the fire.
The whole incel thread has diluted, hasn't it? But this might reignite it. That's a very good point. So how's it going to affect Ed and Emma? I mean, he said a lot of things tonight, didn't he? I mean, he was essentially saying we're no longer a team. What am I? I love George like he's mine. I thought we shared everything. As I said, we're not a team. Oh dear.
Yeah, not looking good.
No. That's one of my predictions. I think they will separate temporarily.
And it was what Emma said back to him as well. I was upset and Will was there. That's not helpful. And he is George's dad. That's not helpful at all.
It's a legitimate thing. Mind. It's a legitimate thing to say to him, but they're both his fathers.
Yeah.
So you treat them equally.
Yeah.
So she didn't
tell Ed because she didn't want Ed to dob him in. She's protected
him so
much.
George told her not to tell Ed as well. So she was being pulled in lots of directions. And I think she's really conveyed her utter desperation, desolation, both as a mother and a wife, actually, and a daughter. Yeah, she's in bits. Poor Emma.
A mother's love, yes.
Yeah.
And Susan's love as a mother for her child.
Yeah.
And Emma's love for her child. Again, fascinating. And Emma just hadn't considered Kira and the fact that she might go to prison, and so Susan was trying to protect her as much as she could.
Yeah.
How do you think Alice is going to react, Katie? What do you think?
I don't know. Because she'd suddenly feel kind of not excitement, but joy at the fact that she's kind of off the hook a bit, and she knew that she wasn't driving, but also just the panic of the whole thing, and everything that's gone on since, everything that people have said to her, and the anger coming back at that, but also people who aren't part of the Carters or Horrobins or whatever, just things that have been said by everybody else to her and everything. You've been let down by the village, really, because you knew that you weren't driving, but no one believed you, or Chris believed you, and that was it. I mean, what's Chris going to think?
Yeah. I mean, I think she's going to be quite cool about it, quite chilled. I think she'll feel vindicated that these fragments of memory were true. But equally, I think she'll find it salutary as well, that she was in such a state that it led to this. So I don't think she'd be crowing. She'd be relieved. I don't think she'd be crowing. Her biggest problem is going to be handling Chris and Brian, frankly, because they're going to go ballistic, aren't they?
Yeah.
Brian will be an interesting one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love Brian, but God, I hope he handles it in a calm way, but I suspect he won't. The one I worry about is Harrison, because I think, God, another prediction. God, I'm full of them tonight. I think, obviously, if he is charged, he could well be kept on remand in a police cell, because the prisons are full, so they're now being kept in police cells. When Harrison finds out, I think he's going to go in and beat him up in the prison cell.
Oh.
And, well, he'd lose his job over that, wouldn't he? He's on a final warning anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
my goodness,
prediction.
good call.
Oh,
I hope not, but wow. We mustn't forget that we should say happy birthday, Ian. It was his birthday.
Yes. I hope he liked his candle.
And Adam wasn't happy about him wanting to be the class representative. Adam was very unhappy with a lot of things. Lottie popped up again for some reason.
Why is Lottie? It's just one of these irritating characters that pops up and you have to have a tweet out saying, who's this woman? And then very helpful people pile on, oh, it's Lottie, she's friends with Pip. And, oh, right, her again. And suddenly she's all pals with Ian in particular, and school gossip. I mean, it's like, what? This is the first day. Ian, calm down.
The other major event, of course, in the second half of this week, and if you want to know what we thought about Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, just go to the previous episode and it will all be there. But Brad and Mia have split. What are our views on that?
Oh, that was so sad. Lesson.
I think Brad should not be going to Felpersham. He's a very bright lad. He should be going to a really good university. So, God's sake, Brad, broaden your horizons, please, because you're perfectly capable.
It's money, though, as well.
Why be so defeatist about their relationship? I mean, he's a brilliant mathematician. He obviously just... I put a tweet out about this. He'd OD'd on probability. He'd sat there with a spreadsheet working out the probability of them splitting up and decided on the two columns that it was probably best that they did. I think he's being quite realistic because the pressures. Yeah. But I think Mia's... I can't see her partying and getting off with lots of boys, can you, really?
No.
A heart set in Ambridge, a heart set for Brad, come on. But I think it's realistic and it's probably for the best. But... oh, come on. I want Brad to realise his potential. I feel very frustrated he's only going up the road. I take your money point. But I think somebody like Oliver would probably step in and help him because he's aware of his potential.
Yeah, that's true. He said it himself. He was overthinking and he did. Yeah. He just totally spiralled and unraveled about Mia. And it was so sad. It was really sad.
Yeah, they're the most mature ones in Ambridge, I think.
But... I mean, which couple goes up Lakey Hill to break up? I mean, it's normally...
That's the first.
It's the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, dear, yes.
Yes.
Now, I know you're going to love this, Quentin, but we do just have to race through the food.
What, even in a week like this? Food has no relevance.
Because Emma's been making food and giving food to try and, she made lasagna for George. She then made a sandwich for Ed.
Nobody's eating it, Philippa, because they're all so wound up. It's a waste of food.
Very quickly, Hummus, carrot sticks, falafel, vegan sausage rolls, samosas, flapjacks, vegan pan au chocolat, lovely lunch, ice cream, beans, carbonara, caterpillar cake, lasagna and sandwich. There we go, as quick as we can. Star of the week. Who is our star of the week?
I've got two.
I don't know if it's Emma for actually calling.
Oh, it's an interesting one.
Emma for actually making the phone call.
Yeah, I've gone for Susan and Ed, actually. Yeah, I'm impressed by Ed's performance and understandable reaction, but I think Susan was brilliant as well. So I'm going for Sed. Okay, combination of the two.
Yeah, Susan was mine because Neil didn't help as much. It's Susan that's really pushed this, and it was right that she did so. It's just the person who is the source of all the gossip is the person that doesn't want any gossip to get out. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Q, you've mentioned some predictions. Do you have any more predictions left to tell us?
No. Well, apart from this one, which is, it's debatable. You never know, but I think it's all going to go belly up. I'm pretty safe with that one, I think.
Wow! Oh my goodness! You're going to be as good as Lauren getting your predictions. I'm sorry Lauren can't join us for this special, but it was a very last minute event. Katie, predictions?
Well, on a totally random tangent, but I think Mia and Brad will get back together. She'll come back, and they will get back together. And Adam and Ian, Ian's just going to end up being head of this school or something. I have no idea. But
do we care?
Calm down, because I can't do this for the whole of the time that Sanders is at school till he goes to uni. No, thank you very much. Let's calm down a bit.
Yes.
Well, mine is that the hypnotist regression woman is going to be fuming because she's lost a client now. Alice won't need any more regression therapy because the truth will be out. So that's my prediction. Now, it should be that our interview with Alison Dowling, who plays Elizabeth Pargeter, is out first thing Saturday. But because we're doing this very special emergency episode, that interview will go out first thing Sunday. So you haven't got long to wait. It will be there. But we're just giving this episode time to work its way through the airwaves. And then I will be back on Tuesday night with Quentin. My brain went blank.
Hopefully in a building.
What?
I know.
Await these shocks, because who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, there you go.
In a building?
In a building, yeah.
It's unbelievable. You heard it here first, folks. But yes, thanks for joining us for this very special one. And we look forward to you joining us again soon. So it's a goodbye from me.
Ta-ra from me.
And I'm off the M6 now on my way home. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.